Granny here. Let's make AI make sense. In this video, I'm going to show you two things in Canva. First, how to clean up Clipart by removing the background properly. Second, how to turn that clean Clipart into simple mockups for Etsy that actually look professional. Here's how it works.
Hi guys, so I am inside of Canva today and I'm going to show you how you can create your mock-ups for your clip art. And also if you look at these clip art that I've just created and uploaded on the left hand side here, I have some vintage Victorian rose frames, and some of them the background has not removed properly. I created these in Artistly, just like I normally would create my clip art in bulk. And I used my GPT, the Junk Journal Kit Creator GPT, to come up with the vintage Victorian frames. And in Artistly, some of the backgrounds didn't remove quite how I needed them to. So I'll also show you how you can remove these backgrounds in Canva if it doesn't work for you in Artistly. Artistly normally does a pretty good job, but sometimes we need to come into Canva to clean up our clip art. So I'm going to click on one of these that hasn't had the background removed. Just waiting for that to load. Sometimes for some reason or other Canva is a little bit slow at loading, probably particularly more when I'm filming, so let's just wait for that to... I might actually refresh this page because I'm not sure why that's taking so long. Let's see what happens. Okay, so I'm back and I have refreshed the page. So this is the writing obviously is not part of it, but this is one of them where around the edges here and some of the white that's around the edges did not remove. I don't mind this being in the middle because they are labels and frames. You could use them for either. So this one I'm going to keep as a label. So I'm going to go into I'm going to click up here on the background remover. And you do actually need a Canva Pro account to be able to use the background remover. So I'm just going to see, okay, so that hasn't really removed this white excess around the edge either, because it's just sometimes if the colour is really close to white, it won't remove it because it doesn't pick up that it's any different to the background. So I'm going to click on the background remover again, and it'll bring me into this screen here. So on the left here you see you've got erase and restore. So if you accidentally erase too much, you can click on restore and you can bring it back. So it's what we call non-destructive editing. If you were using Photoshop, that's how you would do it too. You know, so that you're not going to lose it, you can always bring it back. The size of the brush, I think for now, maybe make it a tiny bit smaller. But I'll remove these larger areas first. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to just erase these by hand as much as I can with the larger brush. And now I'm going to make my brush smaller so that I can go in further. Now I'm doing this with a mouse, so you can do it with a mouse. it's a little bit tricky. I also have a graphics tablet where I can use a pen if I want to, but I don't have that plugged into my computer at the moment. But if you're doing really intricate ones, I would use the pen because it's a lot easier to be a bit more accurate. So you can see that it's going to be hard for me to get in like this and do some of the inner ones here, but I'll do the best that I can, because this image, you know, really probably wouldn't be being used this large anyway. Well, for me it wouldn't be because it would be a printable, but you do need to clean up as much as you can that is possible. Just going in this side here now. And you'll see I did take away a little bit of the leaf. So what I'm going to do is click on restore here. And then it's going to bring back this little part of the leaf that I accidentally took out. Back to erase. I'm going to get as much of it as I can. Again, if you have a graphics tablet and a pen, it's going to make your job a lot easier. But this is how you go in and do it. Anything that's really obvious I'm going to remove. Back up to here. And you can make the brush even smaller if you need to, but for the sake of this video I'm just doing this as quickly as I can just to show you what you would do, okay? So I think for now I'll just leave it at that, and then what we do is we just go done, click on done, and there when we go back we can see that that has removed most of that white that's around the edges there. I'll go in and clean that up a little bit, you know, better later. And there was a couple more that I need to clean up, so I'm going back into my elements. Oh, sorry, my uploads. So there was that one. Now this one here needs a fair bit of cleaning up. It's all the white in the center here and some around the edges, so let's click on the background remover. Okay, and actually that has done a really good job. You can see that it's actually removed all of that background in that one, so I don't need to do it any further by hand. And the only other one was this heart here that's got a little bit of white around this edge. So let's click on the background remover, and that's done a good job in here too. Okay, so that's that done. So now I'm going to create my mock-up. Okay, so Etsy will give you a size recommendation for your images. They're normally square or a little bit more vertical. Mine are just a little bit more vertical. The pixels, let me see, I actually can't remember. Does it tell me here? It actually is square. Sorry, I thought this was a more vertical one, but it's square. And this is 2000 by 2000 pixels. Now that works for Etsy, around that size, okay? So now I'm just going to bring in my images. This bit here in the center, I'll show you first how you can create something like that. So this square here is just a shape. Alright, it's just a shape. So I'm going to remove it, and I'm going to show you how you would do that. So you just go into elements on the left. I'm going to click on square, or you can just search in here and search shapes. So I'm going to click on square, and I'm going to choose this square here. Depends what shape you want. You can use a circle or anything you like. So it's automatically given me a square here, and you can just drag out the corners to make it whatever size and shape that you would like, and you can click on it and change the color up here. It normally drops it in the last color that you used, so I must have used this color for something and it's created it in that color, but I might want to make that a little bit lighter, so I can come in on this one here and I can drag it back to something a little bit paler. I can also use my eyedropper here, and I can pick a colour from my designs, and then you know it's pretty cohesive. But I can make it a little bit more transparent by coming up here and reducing the transparency of that. So now I've just got a hint of colour in there, and I can drag that down there, or I can leave this one separate. So this is just text over a shape as well, just a square. I'm going to change the colour of that one as well to my most recently used colours, or document colours. It pulls the colours out of your document so you can choose one of them. So I'm going to use that one as well for these words. And I might change the text to black. So we come up here to the little A with the colours under it, and we can change our text colour as well. Okay, so now all you need to do is choose your fonts, create your headings, and what other information you want to put in here. So I normally just use commercial use Clipart, and then I put in the name of what they are, and it says Clipart pack, and I'm actually going to make this a bit smaller, and then it says I have 12 transparent PNGs. Now before I actually do it, I'm going to resave my PNGs, the ones that I actually removed the background from, because I need to resave those, as they're not uploaded here, and they're like this in my files. So I need to save these ones separately. I'm going to just create a new square, or I could duplicate this one, or I can add a page. So I'm just going to add a blank page. Actually, I don't like the colour of the background, so I'm going to go delete background so it's completely white. So what I'm going to do is bring them in one by one at a time. So this is how I want to save this one. And we now know that it's going to be 2000 by 2000 pixels. Normally I like mine to be 4000 by 4000. So what you can do is start a new document, because what you've done here, Canva will actually save it. It'll be saved and it will be in your projects. So if you go and create something new, you're still going to be able to go back to this. So I'll show you that, because I actually would, prefer it to be, they are about, I think they're 3000 or 4000 pixels. I'll probably do them 3000 by 3000, because that's a pretty good size. So I'm going to go to the left and up the top menu, which you can't see here, but it's just to the top of my mouse. I'm clicking on File and I'm clicking on Create New Design. Custom size, and I'm going to do, well, here I have 4000 by 4000, that's what I normally use, because I've also upscaled these images. But the unfortunate thing is I'm going to have to remove the backgrounds again, because I should have done this in the beginning. Okay, I totally forgot about that, about having to resave them. We'll do this really quickly. We'll get into the background remover. Still hasn't removed these ones, so I'm just going to go in and do this really quickly this time. Just the white ones around the edges that are obvious, and yeah, the other two I don't have to come in and do this, as you saw, because the background remover did a good job for me. Okay, so normally you would do a lot better job, but I don't want to be fiddling around here in the video. Okay, so then we click on Done. That one's ready. I'm going to add a page. I'm going to drag in this one, which has the white background there. Background remover. And I can see it's now removed. It is hard to see on the white, but I'll show you how you can see. Click on the background and change it to black. And there, this is a dark grey, but you can see it has removed all the white. So I'm going to make it large. Let's change that background and back to white. It doesn't really matter because I'll be saving them without a background. Okay, so open another one, go back to uploads, and we'll put in this one which had a bit of white in the background there. I'm going to change the colour, and we hit background remover, and there we go, it's removed that bit. There's some little bits in here. Let's go in and hit that again and just do a quick clean up. Whoops, I just went over that leaf. Just restore that there. So this is what you need to go do if you want to get all of it. Is really go in with a tiny brush. Okay, so I'm going to leave it like that for now, but you want to go in and you want to make sure you clean it up properly, because you want to be selling, you know, if you're selling them, they need to be high quality, so don't just leave it half brushed like this. Okay, but I'm just going to click on Done. So now you can see I've removed some of it, but not a perfect job. Let's put it on a white background again. So now I'm going to download these three into my folder. Hitting share, download, and I'm clicking on transparent background, PNG. If you want to change the size you can, but these are 4000 by 4000 pixels, which I think is good enough for Clipart. I'm going to download, and it's going to download them into a zip file, and I'm going to save it in my Clipart. And I'm going to call it Victorian Rose Frames. Okay, that's good enough. Sorry, I just knocked the microphone. Okay, so now we want to create our mock-up now that we've cleaned everything up. So I'm going to go over here. I'm going to go to Projects. So I'm going to click in there, and Canva has saved all my projects, but I actually don't want to it to be on this left hand side, so I'm going up to File, and I'm just going to go, I just clicked on the three, okay, you can't see them, but up in the blue bar up the top here, there are three little lines. Click on those, and it's going to let you be able to click on a cross in the top right hand corner of this screen, so you can click on that cross so that disappears. And then I'm going to come into my projects. So then what Canva's going to do is it's going to show you all of your recent projects. So that was when we were downloading the Clipart, and this is where I was working on my mock-up. And so now I'm going to go into my uploads. See, it's normally down the left hand side here. Okay, so you click close menu. You can't see it, but in the top left hand corner again, if you hover over the three lines, it'll say close menu. So here I am, and now I can go back to my uploads here. So I've got that one and that one on there. Where did that other one go? This one. Okay, let's just upload this one again. It's going to give you an idea of my workflow anyway, and some of it's going to help you to learn how I use Canva and what you can do in Canva. So I'm just going to let that upload, and I'm going to add my frames on here just by clicking on them. Now, have I got that one? Nope. This one, is that the same one? Yeah, it's the same one. So I want this one. So these were created in, as I said, Artistly, but I have also brought out a new GPT, and my GPT that I've got now, the original one, creates any type of junk journal kit that you would like it to, and gives you the prompts. But the new one specifically creates vintage Victorian themes. So that's what I've used to create my frames. Now you don't have to put them all on this first page, just as long as it gives people a good idea of what is actually in the kit. So make sure you put a variety of them on here and just kind of space them out nicely. And you might want to, for instance, you might want to enlarge one of them just to have, let's see, so this one here, okay, I'm going to duplicate this one. I'm going to cut out the rest of it, so I've just got this rose here, and I'm just going to make this rose a little bigger, so it's just going to give me a bit of a you know, a bit more of decoration. I'm going to duplicate this, and I'm going to come up here and hit flip horizontal, and I'm going to put that one on that side. Okay, so that's all I'm going to do for this one. And you can play around and make your words and your square or your circle, whatever you've got, smaller or bigger, whatever you like. But my advice is to have it smack bang in the middle, because I've just found that with on Etsy, with thumbnails, people tend to, they seem to sell better if you've got the words sort of smack bang in the middle where people can read what it is. Okay, so that's my first one. Now I'm going to duplicate this page. But what I'm going to do is delete all of these. So the next thing you want to do is you want to show them more enlarged. I'm just going to move this, and I probably actually will make it smaller. So I'm going to grab all of this. And when you grab, you click and you drag and you grab lots of elements together, you can click on group. So what happens is that's going to group them all so you can move them and change the size of them all at the same time. So I'm just making that a lot smaller, bringing this up, and I'll do the same thing with this, group those together and make that smaller. So it's cohesive with this one, same design, only I'm making it smaller. So now I'm going to bring in one of them and show it in a larger size, like that. So that's it for that page. I'm going to duplicate the page, delete that one, bring in this one, like that, and so on. I'm going to duplicate the page to however many you want to show. I would do 5 or 6 like this, so they can see them more close up. Okay, and then I would do another one. Here's a blank one, and I would just drag them all in. Okay, oh, this one I have to delete the background because what was happening was this must be like a frame, because they were just let's just add them one by one like this. So what you want to do is you also want to make a page where you've got the whole lot of them on the page. So you could do 4 to a row, 4, 8, 12, or you could do 3, 6, 9, 12. I think I'll do 4, 8, 12. And you can play around with the sizes once you've got the 3 rows on. Okay, what one haven't I used? This one. And we've got 4 more to go, so and you don't have to have any words on this one if you don't want to. Now another thing I would do is to add watermarks, okay, because believe it or not, people will take your image and they'll extract it and make it their own. So it doesn't matter so much on these ones because they're not like full images, they're kind of cut off. But you can put watermark on your first page if you want to. So this is how you do a watermark. Okay, so I'm going to go to the left here and click on text. I'm going to go add a text box. I'm going to type lavender blue journals. Obviously you can also put your, oh that didn't work. You can put your logo on here as well. I'm going to make it fairly big. I'm going to turn it sideways. This is how I do it, but you could keep it straight. And then what you want to do is you want to just reduce the opacity. I do about 30%, sometimes 20. And then you have got this across there, you can duplicate it. Just do it like this. And now it's got your watermark on there, so somebody would have to remove that watermark in order to use your image. So I would do the same for all of them, and then across this one here. So now all you need to do is export and upload to Etsy. And if you have perhaps another file that you want to include, like with some information, download information or whatever, you can set that up as well. So I just hit share, download, and I make them JPEG and just download. You don't have to worry too much about the quality being for screens. For on screen, 72 dpi is quite enough. It doesn't have to be 300 dpi or anything like that. So then I will have all my images in a zip file. I would unzip that file. Let's go in and have a look. So I've got copy of product images is what I've named mine. Extract all, extract. Oh yeah, it downloaded the whole lot because I didn't specify which pages. These ones here, let's delete all these. So remember, if you've got a lot of pages in your document, obviously tell which pages you want it to download. Okay, so now we have our 4 product images. I'm just trying to open this one just to show you. It's a little bit slow when when I'm filming. Okay, so there you go. You've got your all ready for Etsy, assuming you will have your watermarks across there. And in my community, which I'll put the link to that below, my digital design club, I will create for you a template so that you can just use it in Canva and drop your images in. But you'll need to do your own, obviously type in what your name of your business is for the watermarks. Okay, alright, so that's it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you learned something, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.